GTA Math, what's up? Just here to go over some subtraction with fractions. Yeah, I don't have anything else clever to say, so we're just gonna get right into it. um, I know fractions can be difficult for some people when they first start seeing them. So just to make things simple, the first example I have is a very straightforward, linear, like left to right, just subtraction. Problem number two gets a little tougher, and then I have probably a more difficult fraction that you would see in a subtraction scenario from beginning math all the way up until calculus. Like this is kind of like as crazy as it gets on like the regular basis. So yeah, let's just start at the top. So in this case, we have 5 minus 2. Whenever we subtract fractions, we always go from numerator over denominator, and we always want the denominators to be the same. So here, I see that both of these 3's are the same. So all we're doing is subtracting the numerator. These always stay the same. We don't ever change this. So we got 5 minus 2, which is 3. And then since we don't change the denominators, we're just going to carry it over. So our answer ends up being 3 over 3. And in this case, we would simplify it into a whole number. So the answer would be 1. So like I said, the first one's like pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. Just subtracting left to right, keeping the denominator the same. That's all we did. So now we're going to go to this problem. It's a little bit trickier, but not really. All depends on the experience you have with subtracting fractions. So I'm going to change the color. I'm going to go to green. I try to switch things up here and there. So in this problem, we have a negative number in front of this fraction. So we have 2 negatives in place. But our denominators are the same. So really we have negative 4 minus 3. And we're just trying to figure out what that equals. So in this case, since both of these signs are the same, we're really adding these two numbers together, but we're just keeping the negative. So when we get here, we're going to end up with 4 plus 3 essentially is what this is. Because it's really like saying 4 plus 3 and then just multiplying it by a negative 1. That's how you can look at it if negative numbers scare you. So 4 plus 3 is going to be 7. And we basically factored out this negative 1. If you're new to math, don't worry about it. You can look at it as adding 2 negatives. But if that confuses you, I just wanted to show you a different scenario of, well, you can look at it as 4 plus 3 and then multiply a negative 1 at the very end. So our final answer is going to be negative 7 over 7. And then when we simplify this, 7 divided by 7 is 1, but we got this negative in front. So it's going to be negative 1. Now here's a more difficult problem because we don't have the same denominators. And as we said before, denominators must be the same. And in most cases, you'll hear somebody say LCD, which really just means the least common denominator. I'm really lazy. I don't like spelling denominator and some bigger math words out, so I just leave it like this. So whenever we have a scenario like this, where we have a 2 and an 8, we can't just subtract them right off the bat because the denominators are not the same. So we have to create one. So we have a 2 and we have an 8. There are some numbers that we can use to make them the same. But for me, I say, well, I know 2 goes in the 8 4 times. So what if I multiplied this entire thing? Well, not entire thing. But if I multiplied this fraction by 4, because if 2 times 4 equals 8, that's going to give us the same denominator on both sides. Because now we're going to end up with negative 2 over 8 minus 4 times 5, which is 20, over 8. And when I see this, I go, okay, you know what? Now we can subtract. So if this bothers you, having the negative 2 minus 20, we can do the same thing we did before because we have 2 negatives. We can say this is really negative 1 and then 2 plus 20. 2 plus 20 is 22. This becomes negative 22. So now we have negative 22 over 8. I would love to say we can leave this answer this way, but unfortunately we cannot. So what we have to do in this case is some division. So I'm going to rewrite some of this over here. And I'm going to say, you know what? What number goes into 22 and 8? And just because I'm lazy, but I'm willing to work hard, which is kind of a contradiction, I'm going to divide 22 by 2, and then I'm going to divide 8 by 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So when we simplify this answer, it's going to equal 11 over 4, and we can't forget the negative. So here is the final answer for this problem. I know my work is a little all over the place. But yeah. So if you found this helpful, like I said in the past, just stay tuned. There's a lot of information I want to share because I feel math is taught very poorly by a lot of people. And I just want to help simplify things. So if you need help, please use this channel as a resource. And I'm not attacking teachers because we need them sincerely, but I'm just saying there's not a lot of great ways of explaining math that can help students. And if this benefits you, I will continue to make content that is helpful. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care to anyone who watched.